Hello and welcome to another episode of the Theater Professor vidcast. My name is Terry Dana Jakimiak II and I'm the Theater Professor. And you are joining us once again for our tutorial series on ArtRage for the desktop. As you can see right up there, we have ArtRage open and ready to go. If you haven't already, stop by the previous video tutorial in this series to kind of get a rundown of what the program is like, where the toolbars are, what they're going to do, because this week we're going to jump right in. The next several tutorials are going to deal with specifically the different tools, and I will tell you, we're going to go over a lot in the tools, but I continue to learn things new every day. All of these tutorials can be found at www.thetheaterprofessor.com. Now, for those of you that have been watching me and you've been to the website, you will notice that there's some changes going on. Well, I'm trying to update the website because I've got some wonderful things coming up, including wanting to give away some freebies to those of you that have been loyal and been watching and listening and reading the blog. So keep an eye on the website. There's a lot of changes that are going to go on. Unfortunately, I'm a one-man band, so sometimes those changes kind of happen live, so I apologize for that. But it's exciting. Again, that's www.thetheaterprofessor.com. All right. Let's jump right into this today. Today we're going to be looking at the oil paint brush, the pencil, and depending on how long we go on those two, we may jump into a third one. Let's start with the oil paint. If you remember to choose our tool, now a reminder, I am using a Wacom tablet. I've got the Wacom Intuos Pro. If you are using a Cintiq, you might have it a little nicer than me. And if you're using a Bamboo, then you probably are going through the same sort of things that I'm going through. Now, this program works much better with a tablet, so if you're doing this with a mouse, that's fine. But understand, once you have that tablet, which, and I'm not a reseller or anything, but Wacom, I believe, has Bamboos for only like 99 bucks. It makes it so much more enjoyable to do all of this drawing. So let's see here. Oh, okay, yeah. Let's see here. I'm going to pick up. I'm going camping tonight, so my mouth is a little blurry. Made no sense. Let's grab the oil paintbrush. There it is. And we're going to open up our settings and our presets, just so that we can look at them and adjust them. Now, if you remember last week, I talked a little bit about the settings, and they're very similar to the ones for ArtRage for the iPad. So what we're going to do, just like I did for that, and if you're just beginning to follow along on this, then this is all new to you. I'm going to turn everything off. Notice again, when I click the auto clean, that down here, oops, let me turn it off. I get a little water. It makes a little sound when you click it, and that's how you're going to clean your brush. Right now, nothing's going to happen or shouldn't happen. I'm going to increase my brush size. Oops. There we go. For those of you using a tablet and you're on a PC, which is what I am on, it's Shift and dragging your pen across your tablet to the right and left. That increases or decreases your brush size. All right, so if we were to try, and I'm going to pick a nice pretty color. If we were to try to lay some color down, you'll see I'm pressing down and nothing is happening. Let's go ahead and bring the pressure up to full. Still nothing. That's because if you look over here, our loading is at 0, which essentially means there's no paint on our brush right now. So let's take the loading to full. Also notice that bottom left, the color in our brush size turns on as we bring it. So we're going to take loading to 100. And my brush is a little big, so I'm going to reduce it to about 150 right there. Now let's look. Ooh, paint, and it's blue and sparkly. I'm going to also now take down the pressure to see what happens. Notice that? So when I use these brushes, I generally run my pressure somewhere in the middle, not at the top, not at the bottom. In fact, let's go straight at 50%. So if I drag light on my tablet, you get that line. When I press hard, you get that line. Okay? So my pressure, again, right around 50%. I'm going to go ahead and clear this. For those of you remember, if you click Layers and click the little stacked lines here, you can actually clear layer. So now let's take thinner to 100 and keep everything. If you may just, I don't know how well the video is picking this up, but there is a very slight, and if I keep going over the same spot, you'll see it start to build up. Very, very slight a paint left on it. It's like you're putting a thinner into your brush or into your paint. So let's take it to 50 and see what happens. One of the things you'll notice that we're not getting the ridges right now, and there is a translucency to the paint. If we take the thinner all the way back down, the ridges come back and there's no translucency. So that is one of the things that thinners does. So let's take thinners to like 25, 26. Less translucency and less ridges as well. All right? Okay, now one of the things that we have on here is we do not have Insta-Dry checked. So what that means is this stuff is actually staying wet, and you'll see that if I switch colors, see it mix as I brush through, meaning it's still wet. The other thing you'll notice, I have it in auto clean turned off, so now look at that. It's a purplish, and the more I go over colors, but if I clean, it should go red. There it is. Okay? So we're going to leave Insta-Dry off. We're going to turn Auto Clean on for right now. We're going to clear the page. And let's look at aspect. Let's lay one line down. Now let's turn aspect to 100%. Okay, you can't see it there, but let me do it this way. An S, and then with aspect all the way down. Notice how the paint got thinner in locations? It's because rather than a round brush, it is a flat brush. And so if I go voomp, and so it takes a second for the paint to rotate around. Let me clear that layer. So that's aspect. Let's go to rotation. Watch see my brush size? See it going up and down? Oh, come on in, kiddo. My son just got home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this and continue in just a moment. And I'm back. I had to stop the video for just a second. My son just got home and decided to come in and go to his room. We're going camping this weekend, like I said, and so he had some packing to do. I believe I left off on rotation. And as I was doing it, if you watch down to the bottom, you see it adjusting. So let's start at 30, let's start at 30%. Okay, and now let's move it to, let's say, this is 150%. And so it's essentially the rotation of the brush. Now, be aware that if you turn aspect all the way up, the rotation doesn't mean anything. You can see because it follows the direction that you're going. And the only reason I'm getting thinner and thicker is because I'm using either more or less pressure. Okay, so that is when you're going to use rotation, is when your aspect is really low and you can continuously adjust. Okay, and then stiffness. So let's take rotation down. Let's take aspect up for now. And let's take stiffness all the way up. And you get a much drier look. You see that? See how much drier that is? And then finally, we've been doing all of this with round head. We can actually turn on square head. And you really see it in slow starts and stops. Boom. Okay. So these are all of the different settings for your oil painting brush that you can adjust. A couple of things to note on this. Right now I'm set up for no preset. You can technically pull up presets this way. We're not going to do that because I've got the preset palette bar here opened. As you can see here, we have, these are all the ones that come with the program. Driest brush, dry clumps, and each of them, notice how the settings change. That's dry clumps, everlasting oil, normal round, a normal square. You've got a nice gloss. And you look at the gloss, it's nice and bright and shiny. Thick gloss square. You've got thin dry. Tiny daubs. Boop, boop, boo. Doo, 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 doo. I like to create the feathers of awesome. And then you have an unclean brush, and that just, you can see our water cups there. If you click this, you'll see that I have several other groups here, and we're going to go into how to add these groups actually next week before we continue on the brushes. But what I want to see here, so these are presets that somebody has created. This is, for example, a glazing round, a number 2 glazing round. You see that? Oop, I picked up paint because I needed to clean it. And if we do, like, for example, a new layer, and let's get a new color, you can start to see that's my glazing round, turning that purple over top of it. Not my glazing. I did not make these, and I will let you know the ones that I have downloaded. They're really good. I like this one. This one's got a stipple brush. Okay. Also has a Hake brush blender. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Let's go back to this layer, back to this layer. There we go. Okay, so this is, you notice thinners is at 100%. What this is essentially doing is blending. It's not actually doing any, it's not laying any paint down. Okay. And you'll see there's more here. There's dry brushes, John Hodgins brushes, a Sumi brush, which is kind of fun. So those are all the ones that I currently have in the presets section. If you come over here, you'll see you can add group, you can open user tool presets, and you can import preset collections. And again, we'll go over that next week. We're not going to go into that this week. Let me go ahead and clear all this off. And let's take a look at pencils, shall we? Because let's be honest, most of what we're going to do as artists is we're going to start in the pencil phase. We're going to do a quick sketch. We're going to get our ideas down on paper. Bring up our settings and our presets. Let me go ahead and reset the tool so there's no preset. We'll go to a nice pencilish color somewhere in here. There we go. Good news, I know you may be hearing a little bumping noise in here. That's because currently my mic sits on my desk. I'm actually going to be ordering later today a better mic setup so you don't get a lot of this extra feedback. Why? Because I want to make sure you guys are getting some quality tutorials. All right, here we go. Looking at our settings, we're currently set at no preset. Let's go ahead and just lay down a pencil mark. There we go. A couple of pencil marks. Okay, so, and like I said, I could go a little lighter. I'm a little darker than what I like. Oh, that's good. Okay, the settings we have here is we have pressure, we have softness, we have tilt angle, and then if you click precise, tilt angle switches to smoothing. Okay, let's go ahead and take everything down. Oh, if pressure's down, we're probably not going to get anything. Oh, we're getting a little bit. We're getting a little bit. Very little bit. If I just keep going over the same spot, it'll get darker. We'll take pressure all the way to 100. Okay. Very dark. We'll leave pressure up, but we'll bring softness up to 100. You can see, and let me increase the size so you can see it a little better. You can see it's more broken up than if the softness is at 0. See the difference? And then let's go ahead and bring on tilt angle. Okay, now the Intuos Pro does actually, if I tilt my pencil, I can get a tilt angle that way. This is as if you were holding your pencil straight up and down but still getting an edge of the pencil. And you can see there's a translucency to it. So you could use it to, you go over the same spot over again. If we bring softness up with that, we get almost like a charcoal effect. And then, of course, there's infinite number of possibilities in the center section, right? Okay. Oh, no, I wanted that up. Take softness down to 50. Okay. And of course, again, pencil is going to be one of the tools that you use at the very beginning. You're going to be using this a ton. Let's look at, excuse me, let's look at what happens if we turn on smoothing, or turn on precise, which will give us smoothing. So let's keep pressure at 1. No smoothing's happening right now. Now let's take smoothing to 100. You see that? Notice how the hard edge, it curves itself out. So if I were to write my name, makes it nice and smooth, much prettier. And of course you can go like 50%. And boom, there it is. All right? Of course you can take up softness as well. You can take up softness as well. And, it's still going to smooth it out. So no matter how rough, you get a nice smooth look to it. Now, I don't use smoothing a lot. It's not one of the things that I'm a big fan of. I mean, some people love it, some people don't. I prefer to have my pencil be controlled by me. But if you're doing kind of like an inking type feel to it, the smoothing is really nice. Let's look at the presets that the program gives us. First, we have Auto Smooth Me, make me smooth. Okay, so let me draw. Let's just do a box. I'm going to do it all in one line. Okay, so if you've got a shaky hand, you can see it starts to smooth it out. And it's just cleaning it up a little bit. Your pressure's at 50, your softness is at 50, and your smoothing's at 30. Okay? If you go hard and dark, notice our softness is at 0, we're not precise, and our tilt angle's at 0. It's a nice hard and dark pencil. No smoothing to it, so I get to keep all of my jagged edges. We go hard shader. This is what you use to maybe shade in your box. You can come up here, And then what you'll learn later is you'll grab your palette knife. I actually have some preset blenders here. Start to blend it. Yeah, it's like putting your finger down, right? Except I have big fingers. Big fingers. And there we go. Okay, I'm going back to the pencil, sorry. You have the hard tip. Now, hard tip and hard and dark, I don't know why both of these are in here, but if you look, they don't change. Hard tip, hard and dark. Hard tip. You got heavy and smooth, which is has a lot of smoothing to it. Oh, that made that look really pretty. Oh, okay. You've got soft tip. You can see, now I'm going to sneeze. You're making me do, excuse me. I don't tend to cut these out, so this may stay in there. You see that? Okay, and then you finish with thin, precise liner. It's a thin line, little bit of smoothing. Again, trying to make it fairly precise, and I don't have any other groups in the pencil section right now. So these are the two tools that I have seen most people use, okay? The oil paint, which is incredibly powerful. I'm using the eraser right now. The oil paint, which is incredibly powerful, and the pencil, which a lot of people use to lay down their initial line. Oh, that layer's hidden. There we go. And I think we're going to stop this week with those two tools. Both of them are a lot of fun to play with. What we're going to do next week is we're going to, well, let me talk to you a little bit. I am opening up a membership, free membership at thetheaterprofessor.com. One of the things you're going to get with the free membership is you're going to get a chance to see these tutorials a week earlier than what I do on my YouTube channel. They'll still go out to the YouTube channel, and if you don't mind waiting, you can wait and you'll pick it up on the YouTube channel. But I am, for those that tend to come to the website, I want to give them, you know, a big thank you. They're coming, they're making me feel good about myself as I create these tutorials, podcasts, and blogs. So one of the things I wanted to give them is I wanted to give them these tutorials a week early. So next week, next Friday, if you sign up at my website, you will actually get 2 tutorials. Some other things that you can get with the free membership. Again, it's free. It doesn't cost anything. The free membership is you'll have a little more access to me on the forums on the website. Again, I'm redoing the website. And one of the things that I'm adding is I'm adding a forum section so that when people have questions, they can ask me, but they can also share it with each other. And there are going to be different sections in the forums dealing with my desktop art applications as well as my iPad art applications. And people will be able to ask questions in those areas. Some of those forums are going to be open to everyone, but then others are going to be closed specifically to those who join the membership, the free membership, so that they're kind of getting first dibs at me. I will still answer all of them. I love doing it. This is a lot of fun, so I will continue to do that. The other thing that two other things that I'm working on is one, I've started to create my own brushes. You see, I've got some other people's brushes, which I think are fabulous. Well, I'm starting to create some of my own that work very similar to how I work in natural media. And I'm going to be giving those away for free again to all of them will be given away free to those that sign up for the membership, and then some of them will be given away free to the general public. And again, part of that is to say thank you for you guys coming and watching the tutorials and enjoying what I'm creating. And then finally, and this is the exciting news, is I'm currently working on an ebook for ArtRage for the iPad, and hopefully once I finish that, ArtRage for the desktop. I'm looking for people to essentially edit these 2 books, and those that sign up for the membership are going to get first dibs at chapters, so they can look at it and go, oh, hey, Terry, that looks okay, but you could fix this. And I'll be like, ah, you are brilliant. So, sorry to talk your ears off. I just wanted to let you know. Stop by thetheaterprofessor.com, sign up for the membership. The memberships will go up on Monday. I'm finishing up some web designy stuff on Sunday. I'm going camping tonight and tomorrow. So on Monday, you should see the memberships up, and you can sign up. Thank you guys for everything that you've done for me. I hope you're really getting a lot out of these tutorials, and I will see you next week. And as always, my name is Terry Dana Jakimiak II, and I am the Theater Professor.